Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it feels kind of bittersweet coming back under these circumstances, but show must go on, I guess. So I kind of crapped out 2 months ago due to a zero work-school life balance situation. Here's what happened. Grab a coffee and a snack, by the way, because this is a total random video. I may include a book review into this video because I really did not like it. Okay, but anyway, we'll cross the line when we get there. So, I had a pretty much what I would describe as a burnout kind of situation. Basically, if you don't know, I go to work and I go to school. It's like a work-study program, but it's cool because you get to work and make money and also graduate and get a degree. But boy, is it tiring. And I have quite the commute to and from because I happen to live a little bit far from both school and work. So it's kind of been taking it out of me. That paired with the fact that a lot of things, paired with the fact that I started reading a book that was really bad, and it kind of like, I have this thing, okay, where before I DNF a book, and I like want to make sure that I really don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just kind of sort of not like a book and then be like, okay, bye. No, I have to be like, no, it's, let me just check that it's really bad. Let me just double check. Yeah. And then, also around that time, my mom adopted a cat who is adorable, but, I think I may be slightly allergic. And here's the thing. So I don't know if you knew this. I did not. Basically, when we adopted the cat from the refuge, I don't know really what he was up to before, but I think he was just like part of a huge litter and there were just too many cats, and so they were rescued, I think. Anyway, so we get the cat and they're like, hey, so you have to wait 30 days at least before you let him outside into the backyard so that he knows like for sure that he lives here now. And that's fine. That's good. The house is big enough for a cat litter and a regular toilet person thing for people. That's fine. And, but the problem is that we could not open the windows. Well, I could not open the windows in my room or else he would go out. And the thing is, he, likes me. So he was always hanging out in my room. And if I wouldn't let him in my room, he would body slam the door down. So it was like, I shit you not, there was a point where I would barricade my door with my desk and he would still try to get in. And I was like, this is not a way to live. But anyway, I digress. So long story short, and also I think he just scratched me and I got that thing where you just get sick from the cat scratch fever. I had to, it was there. So yeah, anyway, so I was sickly, a sick child, adult child, for long enough. And I'm not sure if it's an allergy anymore because now I'm fine. Maybe I just got used to it or desensitized. If I was allergic, if I still am, it's a very nothing allergy. But anyway, he can go outside now and it makes the world of difference. He's not as pent up because he is 2 years old. So he's like got kitten energy, right? He made friends with the neighbor cat, which is great. Anyway, long story short, I was burnt out so bad. And yeah, I was starting to gear up to make videos again, and then PAX passed and I just had to make the video. And now here I am. So I guess I got one last thing to hit thanker for there. So the book that threw me into that really bad reading slump was La drôle de vie de Zelda Zonk, or the Amusing Life of Zelda Zong. I don't know how I would translate it. If that's translated literally, that's what it means. And essentially, here's the blurb. Okay, so first of all, this is not the kind of book I would go for. I just read it because my aunt sent it to me. And she had recommended some books that I enjoyed in the past. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll just read it. It's fine. Big mistake. Don't ever do that, kids. Do not trust a person just because they've been trustable in the past. Not with books anyway, because let me tell you. So in reading, okay, basically here's what's on the back. Basically this girl, Hannah, has this boring ass life, right? Like she goes to work, she comes home, she has a boyfriend who's magical and it's her husband, her husband who's amazing, and she takes care of her niece, Patty, whose mother, aka her sister, is a stewardess and just like whatever. And she's just like, man, her life is boring. One day, and this is where the story begins, according to this anyway, she gets into a car accident and then she ends up in the hospital. And while she's in the hospital, she's like, oh my God, I can't believe my life is so boring. I hate my life. I gotta do something. I don't know. Something's gotta happen. It's really bad. Anyway, she requests to have a roommate in the hospital because it's boring. And I can attest to that. Hospitals are very boring. And so she gets put in this room with this lady whose name is Zelda Zonk. And it's an old lady who's in her, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe 70s, 80s-ish, something like that. But anyway, so she gets talking to the lady and whatever. And then that's what the blurb is. And then it's like, ... something happens, something like that. So if you didn't know, Zelda Zonk is the name that Marilyn Monroe used many times to go incognito. That's like real, for real. And so essentially, the book is Hannah being like, hold on, I heard that somewhere. Like, magically, she just like randomly started getting interested in Marilyn Monroe, and she sees the name Zelda Zonk and she's like, oh my God. And yeah, that's the whole book. Okay, I don't know where to begin. First of all, this book is 400 pages, okay? The first 100 pages, okay, so like maybe 100 and maybe a little more, 100 and a few, okay? This much of this much could be resumed by this much. It was so bad. So slow. Oh my God. When I tell you, it took forever for her to get into that stupid car crash. And then it took forever for her to be like, I want to be in that room with the lady. Or like, I just want a roommate. And then I don't know, dude, it just took so long for everything to happen. It was painful. And I even put a poll on my channel that was like, dudes, here's the situation. I can't do this anymore. And y'all were like, read another 20 pages. And I was like, okay. I did read another 20 plus pages, but like 2 months later, but I did it. So, and yeah, so this book is really stupid and I do not recommend you go and waste your time to read it. So let me just tell you what happens. Okay. Basically, Hannah meets Zelda Zonk, and after Zelda leaves, she realizes, oh my God, I don't have her contact info. So she gets it from the hospital. Well, like, she leaves hers, and then one day Zelda calls her and whatever. And so then she's like, oh my God, I love you. And like, somehow they're like soulmates or whatever. And so she and Patty, her 10-ish, maybe a little less, 8-year-old niece who's her daughter kind of, go to the countryside and they're like, love it there and everything. And then they spend time with horses and whatever. Awesome. And at the same time, Jeff, Hannah's husband, is like an author who's actually from New York, who came to Ireland, is where they live, and the story takes place like for love of Hannah and everything. And like, it's kind of going, it's like, he's like, oh my God, you're not the same since you were in the car crash. You're totally different. You're not the Hannah I married. Oh my God. and blah, blah, blah. And Gail, who is Hannah's sister, is the stewardess who's all like, no, never wanted children. I just wanted to live and like see the world and everything and blah, blah, blah. And somehow Hannah's just like basically taking care of Patty her whole life, right? And then Patty's just in the middle, like, oh my God, I want to be a stewardess like my mom. Yes, she actually says that at some point, but okay. And then, what else? Oh, Hannah meets Zelda's son, Michael, one day when he drives her to and from the station, the train station to the house. And then they have an affair. And then they have another affair, and it's very much like, I'm bored with my life, and you're totally hot, and like, I can't resist my cookie right now. And so they have sex, and then they kind of feel guilty, but then they don't, and then it happens again. And then between Jeff and Hannah, it just like kind of goes kaput. And Jeff goes back to New York City to see his publisher, and he has an affair with someone else while he's there, but Hannah doesn't know about it, and Hannah's keeping her affair secret. And then they kind of decide to work on their marriage, and so they're like, okay, we need to do something, we're gonna move to New York. Incidentally, Gail is like declares that she's had a boyfriend for the past 2 years, and she secretly has been pretending that she wants to roam the world, but actually she wants to settle down. And then after like years and years and years of forking out her daughter on her sister, Gail is like, I'm going to move in with my boyfriend in London, and we would love for Patty to live with us. And Hannah's like, okay. And Patty's like, no sign of trauma. And I'm like, help. And the story continues because then Hannah calls Michael one last time, and she's like, hey, can I have 2 days? Just give me 2 days. And so they go to Paris, and they have a total like sex bomb affair and everything. And it's almost the end of the story. So Hannah's like, oh my God, it's like there's 20 pages left. What are we going to do? So she asks him, she kind of alludes to the fact that maybe his mother is Zelda Zonkin, maybe it's Marilyn Monroe secretly. And Michael is like, oh my gosh, haha. And she's like, oh my God, I know, right? Haha. And then the story ends, and it's all like, it never really mattered in the end if Zelda Zonk was Marilyn Monroe. All Hannah found out is that she should live her life or whatever, and something stupid like that. And you're just here like, oh my God, like, is it or is it not? Like, you just made me sit on my ass for this long for that? Oh my God. I love an ambiguous ending, but this was just this would not even qualify for Garbagas. This isn't trashy. This is just bad. Okay, anyway, so that's why I've been MIA, back from the dead. And I also started reading this one, Kaiken by Jean-Christophe Granger, who is a pretty famous author in France for like detective thriller, creepy stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I really liked the blurb on the back, okay? It's like, let me try to translate it here. It's like, when this rising sun becomes a black sun, when the past becomes as tranquil as a sword blade. Hold on, let me start over. I should read before I start translating. When the rising sun becomes a black sun, when the past becomes as sharp as a blade, when Japan is no longer a memory but a nightmare, then the hour of the Kaiken has come. Okay, that's pretty cool, right? But it's, I don't know, maybe I just read it at the wrong time because it was like sort of reading slump mode, but it's a little bit slow. And in lieu of totally crapping off my crapper from the other book, I don't know if I want to like force myself to read some. I'm just going to set it to the side for later because honestly, the story hasn't become so detective complexy that I couldn't remember it. And I don't know, I'll just put it to the side for now. I also read, so I'm going to do a book review for these. I also read The Invisible Man I read Pen Pal, and I'm just started Becoming Bulletproof, which in my last video before leaving, I said would be the next book I was going to read, and it almost wasn't, but now it is. So all is well. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys soon. My next video, so I think from now on, every other week, maybe every week if I have time, but probably every other week, I'm going to do a Paxi poem Thursdays to keep her channel alive, her spirit alive. As I said in my last video, she's the reason I love poetry so much. So I'm going to continue her love for that and post a poem every other Thursday. So stay tuned for that. And then I think from now on, I'm going to stick to 2 videos a week, except for the Paxi poem, which will be the special third. Yeah, so anyway, like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Let me know what you thought below. See you guys next time.